I know this sounds crazy, but try this. This is what helped me more than anything else. And that was, what you're eating is making you sick. And so if you try this, it might work for you. So thank you. We've all gotten healthier. Okay, maybe if I just cry and just get it over with, it'll be better. If you know any tips or tricks to help with the emotional roller coaster that I'm on, please let me know in the comments. There's been so much in the news after, the Senate hearing of the woo-woo caucus. And it's gotten me really thinking and experiencing all of these big emotions. Anger, bitterness, sadness, some guilt and shame. And so I've been dealing with how to process, a lot of these big emotions and big feelings. And then I realized, and I found some lost footage or some footage that I did last May in 2023. So about 16 months ago. I'm so glad that I started a YouTube channel and started recording videos along the way. Losing weight and dieting was just the way that I lived the majority of my adult life. It was just this ever elusive goal to lose weight. And it would always start at the beginning of the year as a New Year's, resolution. And 3 weeks in, it'd be whatever, it'd be over. Been reflecting a lot and thinking back, like it's been almost 20 months that I've been eating a carnivore diet and trying to get better about, being so emotional. But I'm so passionate about this because it changed my life. And it didn't just change my life, it changed other people's lives. It massively changed our lives. It improved our health. And I was 47 when I started in a year's time. It's the biggest accomplishment of my life that I was able to change and make these huge changes, correcting my health and getting on track so that I can live longer for my family, for myself and for my family in a healthy way where I'm not constantly worried about this elusive, health risks. Everyone I know unhappy with how, their health, because I'm in my 40s. So as we've heard from the woo-woo caucus, this is affecting everyone. It's affecting not just old people, not just middle-aged people, but it's affecting our children. And I have children. So I have to be the point person. So when I say that I corrected my health, it is the greatest accomplishment I have ever worked for. And it really ended up, shockingly, is not as hard as I would have thought. Of course, that is hindsight. That's as I temper my resentment and bitterness towards the rigged system of what our healthcare is. I temper that with feelings of overwhelming gratitude. I'd never ever considered going against the grain. I'm very much a rule follower. I'm not very rebellious. I'm a firstborn daughter. And it doesn't occur to me until I'm backed into a corner and desperate. And that's where I was in, January of 2023. I just was like, I'll try anything. And so I did. And it completely changed my life. I've lost 50 pounds from overall lifetime. I've lost 35 pounds since January of 2023. I really hit my, a healthy weight 12 months into, the carnivore diet. I'm a standard carnivore. I drink coffee and I eat mostly beef, butter, bacon, eggs. And it improved every health issue I had. It improved my sleep. It improved my anxiety. It improved my insulin resistance, my metabolic health, everything corrected. My labs are beautiful. I take only one supplement that I have to take because I don't have a functioning thyroid. I have lived with chronic illness and a couple different chronic illnesses since I was 23. I've had major surgery. I did all of the treatments. I followed the rules. I did exactly what I was told, and it failed. I was thinking about my loved ones that have passed, and people like, why did they have to suffer this way? If only I had known. But I have to temper that with, I've started to think I'll process that with feelings of complete gratitude and to continue to share. And what have I done to change my life and my family's life? And so that's really exciting. And the most important thing that I have done when I got healthy was being the example. The people that I care about the most are my kids and my family, my husband, my brother, my sister-in-law, my mom, my aunt, my best friends. So what started out as a diet for me to lose weight and to calm down my overactive immune system, whatever had flared in me, my uveitis came back, my inflammation was threatening to come back. I was, I had terrible anxiety. I couldn't sleep because of my anxiety. I was affecting my lifestyle because I did something so drastic. About a month into me eating a carnivore diet, my husband switched, and now he's healthier. He's lost, I think, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. His blood markers, he has taken control of his health, and he knows what to look at because I tell him, and what we measure, and we manage what we can measure, and his labs are fantastic. He's no longer pre-diabetic. I'm no longer pre-diabetic, and it trickles down. So we eat mostly, Dale and I eat carnivore. He's a little dirty carnivore, whatever. And my kids are animal-based, meat-based. We talk about that a lot. I have teenage kids, and I don't want them, masking their symptoms. And we've worked on this considerably in the last 2 years, almost 2 years, that this is what you can look for. And so it's a lifestyle. In the months, I started in January of 2023, about a year ago. My brother started eating a carnivore diet and started asking me questions. He'd been asking me questions. I've been sending him books and sending him videos for months, and he was, ready to give it a shot. And so he started last year at the end of the year, I think around middle of October, and he's had fantastic results. He's lost a ton of weight. He's kicked his sugar habit, his sugar cravings and snacking. His metabolic health is great. And, that was the most concerning thing when I started the carnivore diet, was metabolic health or heart attack, the risk of heart attack. Because our dad had a heart attack, and his dad had a heart attack. And we were certain that, that was our fate. I wasn't as worried about a heart attack, but I was really worried about that for my brother. So my brother started, and then a few months later, at the beginning of this year, my sister-in-law started. Happy tears. And now my mom, she's been doing carnivore since February, and has noticed tons of improvements. It gave her back a sense of empowerment. It just gives back it gave me a sense of, oh, these things don't just have to happen to me. And I am a person that believes that things happen for a reason. And I think, gosh, I deal with a lot of big emotions around, well, if I'd known this, if I'd known this sooner, it could have helped a lot of people in my family. We lost a lot of people in a very short amount of time, and it was devastating. It was obliterating. And I mean, it ravished us. It was a lot of loss in like a month. In under a month, just so many people started dying. And I know it had to happen that way so that I would start searching. I'm a really curious person, and I have been, to the point it can be maddening, not just for my loved ones, but for myself. I can't I just hyper focus on things that I really like and that I get really interested in it. And I was so curious about how can eating only meat help all these people from a wide variety of, health issues. And I've always been very familiar with the healthcare world. I've worked in it in a lab. I've never been clinical. I've never done that, but I know all about labs, and I've been fascinated with that since I was a kid. So I just started hyper focusing on, on this space, which is low carb, specifically carnivore diet. And I started learning everything I could, watching every video I could, and even the really sciencey ones, because I, like I said, I like those, to the everyday lifestyle videos. And I learned and I learned and I kept doing it and I kept doing it. And, I think that's what was meant to happen, so that Dale's out there walking, so that I could be the example. And I don't take that for granted. I was a little bit thinking, oh, nobody's watching my videos, or, my Instagram, it's being pushed down because I was tagging these people after the woo-woo CAUCUS and all that. But I did the most important thing, and I changed my life, and I changed the course of my family's health. And there's nothing bigger than that. Happy tears. So here's some lost footage that I had that I recorded, and I was recording it specifically for Dr. Barry, but it really goes out to all the people that share. But really, it's a message of gratitude. Hope springs eternal. It's a message of thanks and gratitude to all of the people that put their content out and go against the grain and swim against the current and say, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but try this. This is what helped me more than anything else. And that was, what you're eating is making you sick. And so if you try this, it might work for you. So thank you. Bye. Okay, so it's starting to rain here again, but I wanted to come on here and wanted to make a video of a thank you, so it would be face to face. I knew I couldn't do it like on a Zoom call because I will start crying, I'm sure, but I wanted to tell you thank you for putting out the information that you do. My dad had a fatal heart attack last year in February. It was 4 months before he turned 70. And my dad had never had heart issues. He was very metabolically unhealthy. Now I know that. It runs in our family. His dad had had a heart attack, fatal heart attack, when he was 60 years old, and he died in the 70s. When we went to the doctor, we were like, yeah, we have this history of, heart disease, just because we were always told that, and my dad had just died. So I started wanting to become healthier, and I found your channel from the spot you did with Michaela Peterson on her channel. And once I started watching your videos, I understood that just because my dad and his dad had died of heart attacks did not mean that my brother and I were going to, that we could change our way of eating, change our lifestyle, and have a little more control over our destiny. So I've been doing carnivore since the middle of January, and all my blood work, it has improved. It's beautiful. I've lost 16 pounds. My height to weight ratio is exactly 0.5, maybe a little bit under that. I've lost over 6 inches all over. I've gone down 2 pant sizes. I am not pre-diabetic. My blood pressure is 102/50 as of like Monday. It's really low. My fasting, all of my labs are beautiful. I did go and get a calcium artery scan, the CAT scan, and it came back that I have 0 plaque.
even though my provider was a little bit nervous because my total cholesterol after more than 90 days on carnivore is 395, but my triglycerides and HDL are beautiful. I have a great ratio. I forget what it is. And she's like, but I don't understand. Your LDL is elevated, but you have no plaque. Your score is 0. I really like her. She's open to listening. I'm living out the proof of the improvements that you can achieve. And I now understand that the reason my dad probably had a fatal heart attack, because it was due to his terrible metabolic health. My dad was diagnosed as a manic depressant, because that's what they used to call it, in 1987, taken thousands of pills over the course of 35 years. He was in really bad shape mentally the last few years from the pandemic, especially. I think it just all caught up with him. But now I know that it's not family history and that I'm not doomed and my brother is not doomed, that we have control. So I just wanted to tell you thank you. Okay. See, I knew that this would happen if I tried to do this on the Zoom. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to do it as face-to-face as I could. I'm sharing a little bit about this way of eating with other people. My anxiety has gone down so much. My rosacea, even though I'm crying right now, my rosacea has gotten much better. I feel so much better. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. You've changed my life. You're important and you matter. All right, bye.